Hello there! Yesterday I talked about the reason why people do quit in every single process. It's like a common explanation to every sphere of life. And occasionally I came up with the scheme that shows and illustrates the process of people's growing and actually the specific points when people have the highest possibility to quit. So today I want to discover and explain more carefully this scheme in particular, so that you will understand and you will probably notice these particular points in your own processes, and maybe you will catch this feeling of desiring to quit, and maybe you'll be able to resist and continue growing. So I think this material will be extremely helpful and maybe even, saving from some failures and from some irreversible consequences from quitting the vulnerable and precious process for you in particular. So let's start with the very start. So very beginning. Just imagine you're living your life, everything is okay, everything is kind of stable, and once you decided to become somebody who is more than just a person who lives peacefully. So, for example, you decided to become a marketing specialist on Instagram, for example. So, you caught the desire of yours of becoming a marketing specialist, and you start thinking about it. Okay, I think I would be a great specialist, I would do this and that, I would grow all clients that would come to me, I will make these clients like with million followers, with millions requests, with millions, inquiries from other people, so I would be the greatest. So we start with the point of self-expectations in the very beginning, because you start dreaming about becoming someone great. So this is the first point. When you start thinking about your desire, your goal, you start imagining yourself in the image of already successful person in this particular sphere you decided to choose. In our example, it's marketing specialist, so the sphere of marketing. So the first point, you should put it here. I would write it here, expectation, self-expectations. So, I don't know if you can see it correctly. Unfortunately, no, it's like mirroring, but you can listen to my voice and I will explain it in the best way. So we start with the first point, self-expectations, and you can see the word under this words that means perfect. Because when we think about something that we desire, we used to make it ideal, make like the ideal expectations, the ideal world in our minds, in order to make this desire, make this goal more attractive to ourselves. So here you expect from yourself like the 10 out of 10 success. You will expect from yourself like the maximum of facilities. So you forget about the fact that you know nothing of the sphere, you know nothing about people who made the success in this sphere, what actually they did in order to achieve this success. So you forget about it. You just can think about you in the image of already successful marketing specialist. So here, with this enthusiasm, with this motivation, you may start doing something. For example, follow some already successful marketing specialist, or started to find clients, or starting to working on the visual, working on the content of your own profile page, for example, on Instagram. Yes, I said in the beginning that this marketing specialist is operating on Instagram, so we can utilize Instagram as an example. So you can start working on making your profile more, you know, attractive for probable future clients. So you start doing something out of the expectations. So for example, you start doing these things and you may think, out of these ideal expectations, like, well, I'm the greatest, I'm already perfect, yes, everything would be so easy for me, I will find 100 clients tomorrow and I will become extremely popular and successful marketing specialist like in a week. And with this enthusiasm, you start doing like small things without the basement, without the foundation. So here you have two choices. Not two choices. The two choices will be in the future. So you do small actions. And here you obviously, not occasionally, obviously, come to the first, I would say, stone, the first failure. Yes, the second point is failure. So it's kind of obvious. Because we must to think of two essential, you know, points out of the history, out of the story that I was talking about a second before. So a person with the ideal, who is desiring to become a great marketing specialist on Instagram, with their, you know, perfect self-expectations, like I'm already a successful marketing specialist without taking like long-lasting, without taking fundamental actions in order to become actually not the best, but at least not bad marketing specialist. So this person has no, you know, realistic expectations from themselves. So here he or she obviously come to the first failure. For example, he or she was working on the visual, like, yeah, I'm already perfect, I have no expertise, I have no experience, but I'm already perfect. So I'm making the visual of my profile, I'm making stories, making some postings, etc. But after the whole week, after my hard work, nobody is willing to ask me to help them, ask me to actually share my expertise with them. So there is no positive reaction from the target audience, or no positive reaction at least. But it also can be like the negative reaction if the person, for example, reacting to public, to the public. Yeah, so here he or she also can get some, you know, negative feedback, like, dude, are you serious? You have nothing to share, what are you talking about? So here a person has two options. First option is easy, is to quit. Like it can be explained in two different, you know, directions. So I need to draw it like that. You must notice that the point after quitting in this point is lower than the starting point, and I will explain further why it is like that. So the quitting can be in two directions. First direction is, you know, breaking self-expectations. Breaking self-expectations, it also can be if you continue to grow further, but I will explain later. So you can break your self-expectations, like, well, I was expecting that everything will be so easy, will come so easily to me, everyone will easily become attracted to me as the specialist, as the professional, but nothing has changed, nothing happened. So I'm no one, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. So I messed up, I freaked out, I'm not capable of doing anything, so I just need to quit because I'm not talented at all. So person can break their expectations and just close themselves in a small box, like I'm not capable of anything, I'm just nobody. So the first variant. The second variant is also about quitting. It's also about not succeeding, but the expectations also like unbroken. So here a person would say, well, these people are silly, these people are stupid, they cannot notice the way I'm professional, the perfect way I'm like talented, and the way I'm a great expert, etc., etc. So the person actually cannot believe that he or she isn't really good in the sphere of their choice, but also quit because these people are stupid. So I have nothing to share with them. I have no desire to work with them because they are stupid. They don't notice actually how great and how majestic I am. So this is like the second point. But the point is that even though a person is trying to offend other people and make themselves higher, like above other people, like I'm the king and you are my slaves, the aim is still not achieved. Yes, because the result, even out of seemingly self-protecting statements, self-protecting thoughts, the aim is not achieved. So the person goes even lower than from the very beginning. So this is like the first point, when a person can quit and actually not achieve the goal that was set. So we need to call this point first failure. Okay, so this is the first point when a person can quit and not achieve what was said. Okay, this is like the first direction of a person who is in confrontation with the very first failure. The second choice of theirs is to continue. So in that terms, a person will continue growing. So how can it be explained? A person, based on our example, it's a marketing specialist. So a marketing specialist, the beginner marketing specialist, he or she sees that something is going wrong. After the whole week of hard working, no results are coming. No results have come, and nobody is actually reacting to their, some activities, some posts, some, attempts to, attract attention from other people. So here, a person, instead of quitting, instead of offending others for their unsuccess, and instead of blaming themselves of their unsuccess, they decided to think carefully and to look on the situation quite objectively in order to find the reason. Well, I have no results for now, and I need to understand and realize why it is like that. So here a person starts to think carefully about the whole process from the very start to this particular point when a person achieves no results or achieve even negative feedback from the people. So here a person think, okay, I think I need to change this, I need to change this, I need to change this. I need to gain some more information because people react negatively to what I'm talking about. So I need to get more expertise, to get more knowledge about marketing at all, marketing on Instagram. So here a person start growing, a person start actually learning. And here also expectations are broken because this person in the very beginning was expecting, like, I'm already the greatest. People will come to me and buy my services very easily because I'm already good, I'm already great. But here, in this point, this person, instead of lowering expectations and quitting, decided to lower self-expectations in order to actually learn and grow. So here it's like the healthy way of breaking ideal and perfect self-expectations. So here it's a great point to continue growing. So here during this, like, the huge part of the process, this part is actually quite long, because here person really started to learn about marketing and all, about Instagram, about some algorithms, about people, about target audience, about what actually this person needs to do in order to become not the greatest. Here it's also not about the greatest, it's about being good and actually relevant to this particular market. So here it's a huge part of the process. So until this point, this person is getting used to negative feedback, it's getting used to first clients. Here a person starts learning, start to become actually a good specialist. So he's growing, he or she is growing till this point. This point is a bit different from this point, and they are similar actually at the same time, because it's also about some negative situation that can actually influence significantly on a person and even cause damage, great damage to this person. So here we talk about the very first failure, when a person can break the perfect self-expectations, and here it's like first mistake, when even real self-expectations can be destroyed. I will explain it. So here it's first mistake. This situation, in this point of the process of growing in every sphere of the choice, is kind of sensitive, is kind of even more damaging than this point, because here a person has already destroyed, has already broken their ideal self-expectations, and start growing and working on like realistic self-expectations. Like, okay, I still have a lot to learn, a lot to do in order to become a great specialist in the sphere of my choice, but still, I'm not that bad. I have the potential, I have the ability, I have the possibility of becoming somebody. So here, the first mistake, it's like the situation that is caused by the person during the process of self-growth in this particular sphere, that damage their self-expectations, even realistic. So for example, here a person is already good, is already a good specialist, he or she has some clients, has some popularity, but some situation happened. For example, he or she, provided a client with awful services. Like, it was a specific case, and this person, even during the whole huge part of process of learning, process of growing, couldn't find like an essential, or I would say a relevant package of expertise, of skills, of experience to actually solve the situation appeared. So here person also has two options. The first option is seemingly easy, is also to quit, and here person goes very low, very low. Yes, you like the scheme, right? It looks like a spider with several heads and with a small number of holes, legs, I don't know. Okay, so here person achieved, should I say achieved, this point. So it's not this point, it's even lower than the very beginning, because during this process, a person has already broken his perfect self-expectations. And here, he broke his even realistic self-expectations. So yeah, it's an awful feeling, because you already have gone the huge part of the path of your way, and you see here, even visually, here a person falls from not very high point, but here, after the whole part of learning, falling is more, how to say, painful, because here you have already achieved something, and after like non-transitional situation, you having no ability to stand this difficulty, you decided to give up, and this giving up is extremely painful, because here you has, you know, how to say, a hope, but not like a hope with no reason, like a reasonable hope, because you have this background, you have this experience, and when the reasonable hope is broken, it's extremely painful to actually realize that you are not the greatest, you are not that capable of becoming the greatest marketing specialist based on this experience, based on this example. Yes. This point, I would say that the majority, the majority or not the majority? The majority of people quit here on this point, breaking their perfect self-expectations, and not the majority, but this group of people who decided to continue growing and who actually put some efforts on the process, who are actually interested realistically in working on themselves, on growing in every process. So this point is like the crucial point, when the majority of the group who passed this point, the majority of this group falls here and quit here. Yeah. So the minority of this group decided to choose another option, and another option to become, how to say, more flexible, to become more reactive, and I would say patient, even patient, because yes, after this huge experience, after gaining some expertise, after gaining some knowledge and skills, you still can make mistakes, and you need to accept this thought, to accept this statement and this fact. Actually, this is the fact that people make mistakes always, in any time, in every context. People always make and continue making mistakes. It's okay. So here you need to bring on your bravery, your objective perception, and your patience, actually, because you need, in terms of the example that was discussed recently, it was about like not a really good service to some client. You need to solve the situation the way you can, to think of the reason why you actually made this mistake, and your further reaction. So what you should do with the situation, you should learn from the situation, or you should stop working with this kind of client. So you need to analyze the situation and make some, conclusions from the situation that will be helpful for you in the future. Yeah, so you need to start learning, like here. But here you learn the foundation, and here you start learning the details. So foundation, details. Yes. So going further, during this part of the process of becoming a great marketing specialist, here you become like the expert from the capital letter. So here you become a good specialist. And here you become the authentic specialist, because here you start learning from your own expertise. So here you learn the common information from other specialists, from other resources. So you gain information in a whole. And here you start gaining information from your own experience based on the fundamental knowledge that you already gained, and learn from authentic, non-traditional, non-trivial situations in your own experience. And here you reach the point, how to call it? I would call it power or strength. I would call it power. I need to draw it further because it's an interesting part of the process, actually. Yes, you see it like that. So, gaining expertise from your own experience, you can reach the actual authentic point of the whole process. So here, you can call yourself great, because here you have the fundamental knowledge, the fundamental skills, and enough experience to call yourself a person who actually knows something about marketing on Instagram, based on this example. And also, your power is your openness and your observation skills, because you're not just utilize the basic common knowledge, but also utilize the information gained from your own experience, from your non-trivial situations. And here you can also be called like an authentic specialist, as here you have some knowledge from your own experience. So I think you understand what I'm saying. And here you have already two choices. The first choice is stop growing. Not vertically, horizontally. Yeah, so here you can just stop gaining new information and just be great marketing specialist with the experience, with the knowledge that you have already gained. So you can gain new information from your other, for example, situations and cases, working cases, and that's all. But I would say, I would say it a little bit later. So let's talk about the other option. So the first option is to start here and just working as you worked. Here, the versatility of possibilities in terms of career is opening, because here you are already an authentic specialist, and here you would desire or would be offered to utilize your expertise in versatile directions. So here you would be, for example, offered to join maybe the team of other sphere. For example, you're the marketing specialist on Instagram, and somebody from YouTube asked you to help them to grow. So here you will be able to start learning about YouTube algorithms, about YouTube marketing specifics and details. So here you will maybe start this process from the very beginning, because yes, in terms of marketing on Instagram, you're already like an ace, but in terms of marketing on YouTube, you still a noob maybe, because you were extremely concentrated on Instagram marketing, not YouTube marketing at all. So here you start the path already from the very beginning. But here you, based on your own experience on marketing on Instagram, you may, you know, pass this actual point, because you already know that perfect self-expectations don't work, and start from this. So okay, I'm already good on marketing on Instagram, but I still need a lot to learn. So here you start learning and continue. So you here have versatile directions, have versatile methods of utilizing your own expertise. So maybe during your growth, you realized that you are into filmmaking or into making long-lasting videos, or otherwise vice versa, short videos, for example, anything. Maybe you have become interested in writing. Maybe you want to write some books about your experience, about your expertise. So like versatile directions. Yeah, this is like the most logical, method of utilizing yourself in terms of career. So I would say that for people, it's more beneficial to work towards this direction, because everything is changing, everything is quite flexible. So today you're a marketing specialist, tomorrow you are a book writer, so everything can change very easily. So this is why I don't recommend people to stop growing, to stop learning new information, because yes, you're already an expert, you have some knowledge, you have some, wealthy knowledge, rich knowledge about your own sphere. But one day, the expertise that you have today will be already useless. For example, today, marketing specialists are known like the specialist the way you are, but tomorrow they will be in another image, for example. So this is why I don't recommend, because you still, if you continue for days, for years, for maybe decades, working at this point, not going further in any directions, anyway, I think you will go down. So there is a possibility of actually going down and reach the lowest point on the scheme. Yes, I think that's all that I wanted to talk about today. So I hope you have the better understanding of the scheme of growing in every sphere of life. So please remember these points, they're so sensitive, and don't let yourself fall down without putting any efforts in going further, because it's extremely essential and important for you. So as you see, again, it's more beneficial for you to continue. So even though you don't know what to do today, if you continue making attempts, one day you will be able to solve the situations, because if you look openly on yourself, openly on this context you're growing in, you will be able to gain enough information, gain enough skills to actually collect the range, the package, I would say, of possible solutions, and create your own authentic solutions to versatile, different situations. So please continue, start, and never try to set back and get back. Your power is waiting for you. Remember this.